Sorcerers! Some news from the Sorcery League on Tabletop Simulator. In the next season, they have been asked by Eric's Curiosa to not use the Intercept rule. Now, some of you may be thinking, yeah, I don't remember the last time I used Intercept in a game of Sorcery. And you would be right. Intercept is one of those rules that is rarely used. And, quite honestly, it's one of the most confusing rules for new players. It has caused numerous questions in all of the various Discord rule channels. And even I was misinterpreting it at one point. So before we dive into why Eric's Curiosa is asking this, just a quick review of what Intercept is. When a unit uses the move and attack ability, it can potentially be intercepted. For that to happen, the unit, and let's say it's your avatar, on grid number 3. And the avatar, you decide you want to move to grid number 8 in front of you. There's an enemy minion at grid number 8. When you use your move and attack ability to move your avatar, if you choose not to use the attack portion of the ability, and this is key, it must only be that you're using the movement portion and opting not to use the attack portion. This is the only time that you can use Intercept. So if I move my avatar from site 3 to site 8, and there's an enemy minion there, and I'm not attacking, the enemy minion at grid 8 can intercept and then cause a fight. And the avatar and the minion will then strike each other simultaneously. That's how Intercept works. Now I know in the rule book it uses Rimland nomads who have +1 movement, and so it shows the nomads moving through. Many folks mistake that particular example and think that your unit has to move through the enemy site. That is not true. Simply moving any one of your units using the move and attack ability, but not the attack portion. I move from grid 3 to grid 8 with a unit. Any enemy unit at that grid that you're moving to, that location that you're moving to, can intercept. That's also key. Unlike the defend ability, to intercept, the enemy minion must be at the location. They do not get an opportunity to move. So, all of that is what is involved in Intercept. And based on how long that explanation took, I'm sure you can all be like, oh yeah, no wonder people confuse this. It is a relatively confusing rule. So now, here we are. Eric's Curiosa has specifically asked the Sorcery League that's run on the Tabletop Simulator in their next season to not use the Intercept rule at all. Now, at first glance, many of us are going to say, well, yeah, I mean, I don't hardly recall ever using that. It sounds like when I did use it, maybe I used it wrong, or I didn't think I could do it when I should have been able to do it. So many of you are probably thinking it's fine to eliminate Intercept. So, that being said, I don't know how I feel about it, and I think we're definitely going to need to see what happens with the league, because the prime use of Intercept is towards the end of the game. For example, let's say that your opponent's avatar is on grid 20. Well, and let's say your deck just doesn't have a lot of direct damage. It doesn't have a way to deal the final blow to end the game. And let's assume, of course, we're assuming this avatar, the enemy avatar, is at death's door, blocked in at grid 20. And you just don't have a lot of options in terms of direct damage to deal with that last little ping. So what you could do is place a minion at the 3 sites around grid 20. So that's going to be 14, 15, and 19, right? You've got him pinned in. So if the avatar tries to move using the move and attack ability, it could be intercepted by any one of those minions at the 3 squares around, dealing the death blow. So that is one use of it. And for minion heavy decks, it could be very important for them to still have Intercept. Although most decks do run enough direct damage that they can get that one little ping when an enemy avatar is at death's door to do it. So I'm going to be very interested to see how this plays out. The rule certainly is very confusing. I actually can see why they definitely would like to remove it. It causes a lot of problems. It is rarely used. So maybe getting rid of that is a good way to streamline the rules in some way. I think that's kind of what Urge Curiosa may be looking for. And for me personally, I've talked about this on several occasions, clearing up a lot of the rules issues and streamlining a lot of these things is very important. Eliminating Intercept sounds like Urge Curiosa is definitely saying, we need to clean this up. And Intercept's this tricky, weird thing that's not used a lot, so maybe we just cut it. Get rid of it. No more Intercept. So now, it could be that some avatars, when they're at death's door, are going to be able to escape a little bit and utilize some other funny movement tricks, perhaps like a siege giant or a war horse or a fine corsair, to get away, and it won't be able to be intercepted. So it'll be interesting to see exactly how this works out in the league over this new season. I'm really looking forward to it. But my biggest takeaway is that it sounds like Urge Curiosa is definitely taking a hard look at the rule set and saying, let's clean this up. Yeah, maybe we can get rid of this. Just, it's gone, makes things a little bit more clean, and we can get rid of a lot of very confusing discussions in the Discord rule channels that are on the various Discord channels related to sorcery. Other than that, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Keep on contesting the realm.